Hi, this is Randy. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess, feminism, but I'm a bit puzzled. I'm a bit confused, and I've been thinking about, I don't consider myself a feminist at all. Definitely not, one of the alt-left crazy feminists that are out there protesting and stuff like that. But I just listened to Stefan Molyneux talk on YouTube, and a 32-year-old woman was asking him for advice for, I guess finding a man, finding a partner. Now, 32, to me, I guess, that's not too old, not very old to me. And I'm beyond childbearing years, and I'm already done with this, and I've already had a child, and I've had 2 marriages. And so this is not applying to me personally. But when I was in my 20s, yes, I did think I could have both things. I could have both children, a marriage, and a career. And I did succeed in having all of those things. Mind you, I did only have 1 child, but that was my preference. I could have had more, but I didn't feel that I was with the right partner at the time that would be able to support me long term when I was ready or able to have maybe a second or a third child. But I did have 1 child and quite happy. So I would say, yes, I did do it all. And but I think it's a very confusing message that's being sent out there to women right now, because apparently, according to Molyneux, to be a feminist means that, you go for a career. And if you go for your career, if you get your education and you work on your career when you're in your 20s, then basically he's saying that, by the time you hit 30 or so, maybe even your late 20s, you have got nothing to pick from in terms of men. Well, he doesn't say that. He says that basically you have to way lower your standards in terms of the men that you're going to have to pick from, because the men that you're going to want when you're 29, 30, 31, 32, and you've got this education, the ones that you're going to be able to, the ones that are going to be able to compete with you in terms of having as much education, as much wealth, potential, and still having good looks, that those guys that would meet you at your equal when you're 32 years old would not want you anymore, because they would want somebody who's like 22, 23. So basically, I guess what he's saying and what he's calling a feminist is a woman who goes to college and a woman who tries to get a career. And so as if she has to make a choice, and that she is actually making a choice for that versus having a marriage and a family. And that if she chooses college, that's what she's doing automatically. If she does not choose college and she starts to try to find a man to marry right away out of high school, and that she's better off doing that and not going to college. She's better off using her sexuality, I guess, and her youth to snag a man, and then having the talents of cooking and cleaning, and being supportive, and then, you know, by 25, without having spent time in college and on a career, she probably should have met a man, and I bet he believes preferably an older man who's maybe 5 years, 10 years older than her, who's established, and then she can begin having his children for him. And what does she need a career for anyway? Because after all, he's going to, you know, make all the money and be the provider, and she's going to have the children and take care of the children, and they're going to live happily ever after. So, you know, it kind of amazes me that to be a non-feminist seems like your belief is that total tradition, you know, woman stays at home, woman does not work, woman does not do anything but work on her body, her looks, housekeeping, and caretaking of children. And Molyneux's belief, or his fantasy, is that there are plenty of men out there that will do the opposite, and that will be that will fit right in with a woman, with a traditional woman who does that. So then he believes that there are plenty of males that are going to be financially successful, educated, have a good job, be ambitious, and be willing to commit to one woman, and wanting to have children and be that wonderful husband and father. But see, this is where I think Molyneux is very wrong. I mean, how many men are really like that? If you're gonna suggest that young women out of high school choose not to further their education, not to focus on a career at all, not to build up a good resume, but to just focus on how well their body can become a baby maker, and you know, how well they can please a man and catch one during those crucial early years from, say, 20 to 26. And that's what these non-feminists, or I don't know what we call the non-feminists, the anti-feminists, the opposite of a feminist would be. This is what they seem to think, and I think that's going way, way extreme, where because you're going to make an assumption that if you suggest this to young girls that they do this, well, first of all, half of them probably won't mind doing that, and half of them will be very resentful because, you know, they want to make something of themselves, and they want to have a full life that includes both children, marriage, and a career, and they have been told that they can do it all, and they have been shown that it can be done. It may not be easy, but it can be done. That you do not need to give up one whole piece of your life, which would be a career piece of your life, just in order to, you know, have kids and be married. That you can actually do all of those things. But the assumption that's being made is you're going to suggest to girls, like it sounds like Molyneux would do, that, you know, they bypass the education and the career part and focus on finding a good provider and a good husband, you know, in those early 20s. What the assumption he's making is that there are a lot of men out there that would fit that bill, that there are a lot of attractive men that are wanting a commitment, that are wanting to get married, that would want a wife and a child and children at that point in their life, and that they're actually available all over the place. In other words, he's acting like you're just wasting your time focusing on a career, but it's not like as if while you're in school focusing on your career, girls, that you're not also looking for a man at the same time, because I know that you all are. It's like, why wait. It's like you try to do all of these things at once. And some people are able to get them all in their early 20s, actually secure a good man, a marriage, and a career. And some of them fall short of one of those. Some of them waste time on a bad relationship. Some of them miss the career part, get a good relationship, and then regret not having a career. I mean, that's why it's called having it all. It's possible. It doesn't happen for everybody, but it's the best you can shoot for. But I think Molyneux is totally wrong in suggesting that, that if you have spent time on your career and you have not found a man yet, by the time you're 30 or 32, that there's something that you have actually done wrong, that you should not have focused on your career, and that now that's all you're going to have, and you're going to be this lonely person with a great career. Well, you know what? I think there's worse things in the world. You could be broke-ass poor and lonely with no career and no marriage and no children. All of those things. So at least she has one of those things. And I think, that the pressure on women to be able to have all those things is pretty high. But then again, it's not a given that it's going to be able to happen. It takes time, and as those time ticks, you do become out of your 20s then, when you're actually either, actually having the kids, actually getting married, or actually excelling at your career. But I mean, we only have so much time, right? I mean, the 10 years between 20 and 30, that's only 10 years, Women everything's scrunched into that period of time where we have to go as fast as we can to reach the highest heights in those areas as we possibly can. And it's not all going to happen for us. And I think that when it doesn't, and then we're 35 or 40 and we still haven't gotten all of them, I don't think it's anything to be surprised about, shocked about, or shamed for not having it. Because it's damn hard. Everything's scrunched into this short amount of time that we have. And mainly it's because, of men being extremely selfish and rude and just focused on the body rather on the whole picture of what a woman can bring to the table. In addition to, sex and babies, but the other very important things that she can bring to the table, which is a career as a provider and as a responsible partner. So that's all I have to say for this video. Thanks for listening. This is Randy Andretti. Have a good day.